Hi guys, welcome back to Exam Debug. I'm Chris McKenna, and today we're going to be continuing on with Python 3. In this case, we're going to be looking at how operators can be used inside of our if statements. Okay, so let's see, what are operators? And they're kind of just descriptive symbols that we use in mathematics. So for example, you might have equals, as we've seen already, although we do double equals in this case. You might have not equals, which is exclamation mark equal. You might have greater than or less than, things like this. So we're going to see how we can use these and then combine these together in different ways to get different effects. So let's start with, I'm going to say, let's start with a program, and we are going to get a number from the user. So let's start with answer equals input. So again, input is for asking the user, and we're going to ask them, let's be really rude and ask, how much money do you have? Okay. Now this program may not make sense entirely because I want to explore all the different operators, so please forgive me if the program just gets weird and pointless. Okay. So we've got answer equals the user input to the question, how much money do you have? But like last time, or one of the videos not that long ago, we want to make sure that Python knows that it is an integer. So we have to put this int casing around the question. And that way we'll definitely get back a number. Okay, and then once I've got this, I'm going to make an if statement. So again, don't expect this program to make sense, but we'll try. We'll start with if the answer is equal to, let's say, 33. We'll assume that's 33 pounds or dollars or something. Then what's it going to do? It's going to say, oh, that's what's causing me problems. I've missed out that quotation mark. Usually when you type it, indents for you in the right place. Okay, if the answer equals 33, it's going to print, and again it's a string we're going to answer, so we put it in quotation marks. You have 33, and let's say they have 33 pounds. Okay, so we've got an if. So if the answer equals 33, it's going to say you have 33 pounds. So that's kind of where we were last time, but let's just check it works. 33, you have 33 pounds. Now of course we could then go on and say, do this for every different option of number. It wouldn't be great, but you know, we could do something with it. But we could change these operators to maybe make it more useful. So for example, as we said before, we could have not equals to 33. You have anything except 33 pounds. Okay, so this time if I type 33, it's not going to do anything. However, if I type any other number, 19 for example, it's going to say you have anything except 33 pounds. So again, it's not great, but it's a start. So let's try and make this program make a tiny bit more sense with some of our other operators. So let's maybe start with greater than or less than, which can be very useful, but is obviously only for numbers. So let's say if the answer is greater than, let's say 100 pounds, we're going to say, whoa, you are so rich. Because I wish I had 100 pounds. Feel free to send me money, people. So if the answer is greater than 100, then print, wow, you are so rich. So this is going to be 100 won't work because it's not greater than, but if we put in 101, it's going to say you're rich. If we put in a number less than 100, 88, we don't get any response. Now if we wanted it to be the same as 100, we could say greater than 99, but it's often nicer reading if we say greater than or equal to. So that's what this combination means here. F5, so this time if I put in 100, it's going to say you are so rich. Okay, so not great so far. Let's have another option. Let's have if the answer is less than 100. And again, we could do less than or equal to. But if we did less than or equal to, then what would happen is this one would come first. So it would run this, if it was 100 I mean, it would run this and it would skip this. So it doesn't make sense to say less than or equal to. I'll just say less than 100. Print for you. I hope someone gives you money. Okay, so we now have these combinations. How much money do you have? If I say less than 100, it's going to say for you, and if I have more than or equal to 100, it's going to say wow, you are so rich. And so we can use these different operators to have a useful effect. Now I'm going to add in something else here, because there might be situations where you want to check more than one of these things at once. For example, let's say we're going to add in a new value and we're going to call it payment. Now payment is going to be something called a boolean, and a boolean is a variable that can be either true or false. You can see it turns yellow because it's got special meaning, and that's the only options it has. It's a yes or no situation. If you've ever used Access, it's called a yes/no, but here it's going to be boolean, or true and false. So payment equals true. So in this scenario, if they owe me money, then it's then they've already paid the money. Sorry, then it's true. If they've not paid, then it's false. So if answer is greater than 100, and we can add in something here, and payment. So payments, we don't need to say equals to anything because it's either going to be true or false. So this is saying, if the answer is greater than try that again. If the answer is greater than or equal to 100, and the payment is true, it's going to print, wow, you are so rich. But let's add in another option. And we're going to have the same thing. Okay. And not payment. Okay, so we can use this not to negate the true or false. And if it says that, print, well, you can pay me if you are so rich. Okay, so the idea is, if they've got more than £100 and they've paid you already, you can say, wow, you're very rich. However, if they've got more than or equal to £100 and they've not paid you back, well then it's going to say, well, you can pay me back now if you are so rich. Okay, F5. Okay, how much money do you have? So the first time it's going to say, okay, so we have 101. You are so rich. But if I change this to be false, how much money do you have? 101. Ah, you can pay me back now if you are so rich. So This is going to check, is this true and is this not true? This one's going to check, is this true and is this true? So you can see how we can use the not to change that option. The other thing we can use is the or. Let's see, how could we do this here? So if the answer is less than 100, or they've already paid you back, so we'll say for payment, it's going to say, for you, I hope someone gives you money. That doesn't really make too much sense, to be honest, but the idea is that this is different from the and. So let's see, if we run it, you'll get the idea of what's going on. So how much money do you have? This is not going to this is going to be, let's say, one will work. It's going to say for you, because even though this is false, you can see here, this is false, this one is true. And so an or is saying it can be this one or this one. As long as one of them is correct, then you can still do this. However, if both of them are false, don't do anything. The and is saying this one must be true and this one must be true at the same time. Okay, so maybe you can work on developing this a bit more, play about with it, experiment with different numbers, different operators, try ands and ors and nots, put things together and see if you can come up with a nice algorithm, a nice program that's going to make decisions based on different criteria and combinations of criteria. Anyway, I hope that helps. If you get any questions, please let me know, and please subscribe, and good luck.